What is up, Tress?
Before I get into the tea, I would like to preface this video with I am very grown and very married. Okay, with that being said, back to our regular scheduled program.
For the Tress One Person, I'm Biggity B-A-C-K back with another video. In today's video, y'all, I have a confession to make. I may have not been 100% upfront and truthful in telling you all the full story on my last video about why I left YouTube. So first of all, if you have not already watched my previous video, make sure you go and watch it. If you are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It's right there. Click that subscribe button. Like this video. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, however you feel about the video. It really doesn't matter. And let's get into this mess. How you doing? Who is that, y'all? Who is that YouTuber who I just impersonated? One of my favorites. Anyway, let's get into it. And I feel like my lighting is messed up, y'all. So if it looks weird, if I look like a funky color, my skin looks like a weird coloration. I'm not sure what's going on with the lighting, but anyway. So I let you guys know part of the situation in my previous video about how I got sick, and my husband and I both had the you know what. If you don't know, go back and watch the old video. But there was more to it. So before we got sick in February, in January, I found out, y'all, pregnant. Oh, I was pregnant, y'all. I found out I was pregnant. So I was feeling so tired and fatigued and barely making it through Vlogmas, barely making it from day to day, y'all. I'm talking tired. It was a whole nother level of exhaustion because I was pregnant. I had been pregnant for a full month before I found out, well, a month or longer before I found out I was pregnant. So I know some women, which I do not understand. Let me know down in the comments if that was your experience. Like if you were one of those women who didn't know you were pregnant until it was time for you to have the baby, or until you were 6 months or 7 months or 8 months pregnant. That was not my experience at all. My body is super sensitive. I'm super in tune with the feelings that I'm experiencing in my body. I don't really know how to put that into words. But I knew something was up, y'all. I was just so physically exhausted. It was on another level of like fatigue that I've never experienced before. Even with being sick, even with having the flu, it was another level. So basically, I ended up kind of complaining to my husband. This was in January about, you know, how I was feeling, what the different symptoms were. I'm not going to go into details. Ladies, y'all already know what happens when you get pregnant. However, I was just talking to him about how I was feeling. And he said, you know, maybe you need to take a pregnancy test. I'm thinking, a pregnancy test? Why would I need to do that? Y'all, it was 8:30, almost 9 o'clock at night. We got in the car and went and got a couple of pregnancy tests from the Dollar Tree. And I think they were, well, this was before it became the $1.25 tree. it was still the Dollar Tree then, and I think you could get 2 tests for $1, or maybe they were $1. At any rate, I got 2. I've always heard people say, like on YouTube videos and social media videos, you do not have to pay for a $40 pregnancy test. The ones from the Dollar Tree work the same. So what I decided is that if the test was negative, that I would upgrade and get a better test. But that if it was positive, it was most likely right. And it was positive. I said, oh, it's probably a false positive. Let me run that back. Let me spin the block. Let me run that back and try again. Let's start over. Maybe I did it wrong. Reread the directions, did the test again. It was positive. It was positive, y'all. So I was dealing with all of that's a lot to process. A lot to process, especially when you are not actively trying to, you have not decided, okay, we are about to do this. We are, set, actively trying regularly. When it just happens, you don't really think about how much it is to process. And I am of the age now, like I'm married, and I'm of the age now where, it's time. It's a now or never type time for that for me. And it was still a lot to process. So I was dealing with the mental part of trying to process, girl, you are about to have a whole life that depends on you. I have never had a pet before in life. I've never had that big of a responsibility where something or someone depended on me to live. I could count on one hand the number of times I have babysat. I could count on one hand the number of times I have changed a diaper. So this really was huge for me. This was a lot for me to kind of get through my numb skull. And I really didn't want to accept it. I know, especially in the Black community, miscarriages are so common, especially with your first pregnancy. I've always heard that miscarriages are very common. So I was actually kind of putting off trying to process it mentally because I didn't want to get too attached to the idea, because in the back of my head, I was always thinking, okay, miscarriage is common. It may happen, it may not happen. So it started to slowly get real for me, and as I got sicker and sicker, and then when my husband and I both got sick, and it was almost like I never recovered from that almost. I just stayed sick throughout the remainder of my pregnancy. So with everything that happened, every new week was a new symptom. And all of that really piled up into, okay, it's time for me to step back, scale back, make my health and my body a priority. And as much as I would have loved to document the week to week throughout my pregnancy, YouTube just was not a priority at the time. So I know a lot of people watch the videos and they think, oh, you just set up the camera, you just talk to your camera and post the video. And YouTube is so much more than that. To maintain a channel and to have to bring a channel to monetization and success and to maintain it is a lot of work. It's choosing the proper title. It's editing the video. It's getting ready for the video. It's making yourself presentable. It's tagging, the hashtagging. It's description box, links, everything. Just posting a video is a job. So generally, after I finish all of the editing process and I've actually uploaded the video is done rendering and everything, I usually put about 20 to 30 minutes into just posting the video. Like the title, the hashtagging, choosing the settings, and that's on the low end. That's for like quick post. If I really want to research a title that's going to do well and hashtags that are going to help to promote the video, it could be hours of time. Sometimes I'll stop and come back to it later on in the week. So I just did not have time. And at that time, now later on, I did kind of revert, especially once summer came around, I reverted back to watching y'all's content and, you know, keeping up with everyone, even though I may not have been commenting or engaging or interacting back. But during that particular time, back last January, February, March, April, even into May, I was not thinking about YouTube, period. Not one bit. I mean, work was a struggle for me, you guys. I literally was going to work as many days as I could. I felt like I had to go to work. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother conversation, but I feel like we're made to kind of downplay what your body really goes through during pregnancy. And we're made to think that we are physically able to continue doing every single thing that we did and continue our jobs and our lives the exact same way that we did before we were pregnant. And unfortunately, that's not the reality for most women. Some women have great, enjoyable pregnancies. I was sick. So it was really difficult, to say the least, for me to go to work and just getting up and getting ready. Getting out of the bed was some days the hardest part of the day. Like, I knew if I could get out of the bed, get dressed, get to work, I could make it. I would stop talking at work, barf, throw it away, continue my sentence. Yeah, it was definitely the journey. So if you guys are interested, I can give you more information, more details. I'll say more information sounds like I'm doing some type of a research report, but I can give you guys more details about my pregnancy journey kind of retrospectively, since I was not able to document the journey along the way. So if there are any things that you guys want to know or you're interested in knowing about with my journey, just let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share out the video, you guys. And I'll have to have my little one on one day. I'm not going to promise a next video, but we will see what happens.